Are you interested in running Sitecore in a composition of Docker containers but need a bit of direction getting started? I'm Davin Edelamaki, and this video is the second installment in an ongoing series of doing just that. If you're following along at home, you'll need to have a Docker for Windows installed and a text editor of your choice. Once again, I will be using Visual Studio Code. In this video, I will cover setting up our MongoDB container. If you're interested in setting up a Solr container, please head to my previous video in this series for information on doing that. So let's get started. Building a Docker container for MongoDB is actually quite easy. We simply need to download and run the installer and then configure the service. I'm going to assume that you're at least a little familiar with building Docker files by this point, so I'm not going to go into much detail on that. For this container, we'll create a web client and download the installer MSI file from mongodb.org. Once the file is downloaded, we will use the MSI exec to install it, giving instructions to run quiet and passive so no interaction is required. Once MongoDB is installed in the container, we will remove the MSI and create our DB and log folders. Then we will pull our mongod.cfg file, which does not really have anything out of the norm, aside from the fact that we have added IPv6, since networking for the Docker container may resolve in IPv6. Then we just run mongod.exe and pass in our config and our install parameter, and then expose port 27017. And from this point, we can actually save and test our Docker file. So I'm going to go into PowerShell, which I've already opened, and I'll do docker build and tag it MongoDB and run. Since I've already run it, it's already cached, but you can see that it actually went through every one of those steps in there. Then we can run our container. And of course, I'm going to pass in the name of our image and the host name, just so that we can more easily delete and remove the image when we're done using it. And then the host name is so that we can resolve it easily when we go to test. Then once it comes back saying it's successful, we will open RoboMongo and then navigate to the server, which might be a second. Unfortunately, that part doesn't cache. Kind of wish it did. There we go. So I'll go into RoboMongo. I'll go in here, and I've already got, you can see the address is MongoDB with port 27017. And I'll click connect. And in just a moment, there we go. It's connected successfully. With that, we have a Docker container running a Docker container running MongoDB. So, I'll switch back here. Today we followed the process of setting up MongoDB in a Docker container, which is as simple as downloading and installing the MSI, then setting up the service with mongod.exe. In the next video, we'll be setting up the Docker container for SQL. So feel free to click like and subscribe if you'd like to continue following this project. So this is Davin Edelamaki saying see you next time.